Hey, this is Stephanie.
And I am Meredith, and welcome to This Is My Circus.
We will get this right one day.
I don't know why I always feel like I need to do something different each time.
Me too. I don't know why either.
We need to just record it and use the same intro every time.
That's what we definitely should do. Yes. Oh goodness. So how has your week been?
Well, let's start with you because I feel like you've had a lot going on. I know you are super busy. So, for our listeners, if we do sound a little funny, we are doing a Zoom.
Yes.
I am in the car rider pickup line at school, and I'm here in park, so I am being safe. But but you, Steph, have just had a lot going on. What's the deal?
Oh, I know that we've talked, you and I have talked one-on-one, just about like having anxiety and just overwhelmed. And I think being away for 9 days at the World Championship, it put me so behind. And so I have just been having some moments.
Yeah, I
that
understand.
My closet crying.
No, I've been there. I've cried in my closet as well.
Yes.
It's just sometimes, and I get to that point where I'm so overwhelmed that I just give up
Yeah.
and throw my hands up in the air and just let it all burn down around me.
Yeah. And that was where I was at. And, I kept, I'm like, I'm going to get it together tomorrow. I'm going to get it together tomorrow. And,
yeah,
today was the day that I somewhat got it together.
It's hard. It's difficult. It's difficult.
And then, trying to, do like break down in front of your kids. And, it's just, momming is not easy. Like they don't talk about the hard stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I was foolish enough to think when Jackson was little that was the hard time. I did not realize how much harder and just, different aspects of it. I didn't think about it that time. I was just like, please God, let us sleep through the night at some point.
Yeah.
And then you don't sleep through the night because they're out with a friend or on, somewhere else. So,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Well, hopefully this week you get yourself together a little bit.
Yeah. Well, on a brighter note, I did find my AirPod.
Yay! I see one in your ear.
Brandon didn't steal it.
So a public apology.
No, there's no apologies. Because he even said it was something he would have done.
So where was it?
So I went to go get dinner out of the oven and I grabbed my oven mitt and it was stuck inside my oven mitt.
Oh my gosh.
Like how does it get in the oven mitt? I don't know. But that's where I found it. And
oh my gosh.
I was doing the Find My AirPod, but I guess it was dead, so it wouldn't beep.
Yeah.
And it kept showing like in the my office or like on that side of where the kitchen is. It was on that side of the house, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, why didn't you think to look in the oven mitt? I mean,
dude, I even looked. I looked in the fridge, and Dylan's like, "Why would it be in the fridge?" I'm like,
"Right."
I've
done that before. Yep.
Yeah.
Or put fridge stuff in a cabinet, thinking that I was putting it in the right place.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad you found it.
Me too. I didn't have to buy a new pair.
So Jackson and one of his friends were riding the golf cart the other day, and they were riding on the road behind us, and they found a wallet, and they figured out who it belonged to, and we know the kids, so we were like, oh, let's go take it. So Jackson and I hopped on the golf cart like the next day because it was getting dark or whatever, and you could tell the wallet had been there for a while, so it wasn't like a emergency. Like there was no important cards in there at that time. And so I got the wallet. Jackson and I jumped on the golf cart to go, and it started sprinkling. And Brian was like, "It's gonna rain." And I was like, "It'll be fun. This is an adventure." No, we got like up our dirt, like it dropped, and I'm yelling, crying, like, "Go, Jackson, go!" And we got like halfway there, and I was like, "Turn around and come back." So we came back. And of course, Brian was like, "I told you so." I actually took a picture in the middle of it. I'll have to post on our page because it was just one of those ridiculous. I can't believe I thought this was a good parenting idea. But anyway, we came home and I have no idea where I put the wallet. So this poor kid's wallet with his Carowinds pass from last year is in my house somewhere. I know. So I lose things randomly too. That was a long way to get back to that story. Um,
Well, I've done I lose stuff all the time, and
yeah,
I mean, your brain's going all over the place all the time, and
yes.
I lose stuff. Oh, I should like buy like every air tag available.
Air tags on everything.
Mhm.
So how did Dylan like school last week?
He loves that school, and I'm so glad. Like I'm so relieved, and it made it transition easy. He knew the kids, some kids there. He
Yeah.
knew, I think like one or two kids that are in all of his classes. So it wasn't like
Awesome.
he was like totally, alone.
Yeah.
Lacrosse started today, so he's super excited. I just got the notice that he's at home now, but today was their first practice, and
Okay.
so he's really, really excited about that. He is
Good.
absolutely loving being able to drive to school.
Oh yeah. How are
So
you handling that?
I just follow him on Life 360.
The whole way. I would do the same thing.
And then I'm like, like he was out all weekend. We gave him the truck, like Brandon's old truck, and it's like a
Mm-hmm.
2004 Nissan. It's like not anything like spectacular, and
I think that's perfect. Yeah.
but it has four wheels and it gets him to where it needs to go.
Yep.
So we got the couple of things that needed to be fixed last week, and so Friday we picked it up and he got the truck. So of course we didn't see him the entire weekend. He ran in to like get a change of clothes and then ran out again.
Oh gosh. I know. That's
So yeah. But when he ran in, I'm like, hey, do the dishes.
yeah.
Before you leave again, hold on.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Oh
he's loving life right now and couldn't wait for lacrosse practice to start. So
yeah, good. I can't wait to hear how that goes.
yeah. And he gets out at 9:00 every Friday. So like what's there to not like? It's like a 4-day week, like
Every day. So what time is his lacrosse practice until? So they get
I
out
think
in,
I think
right?
like 1:30 or 2:00
Okay.
if it's like an extended practice. They do weightlifting 2 days a week, 3 days. Oh, 2 days a week. Yeah, it's 2 and 2. So and then they have off on Fridays from lacrosse.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. And I know they get out at like 10:30, but I think they have like a lunch break and then they have practice, right?
They don't actually serve lunch there. So
Right. But they have a
they have
chance
like
to.
I guess
Yeah.
like a in between break.
Yeah.
So if they aren't doing a sport and they're not taking their electives online, then I think that they could have more classes like in person, but like on the sports program, they do
Yeah.
their electives online so they can get out early.
Yeah. That is good. I'm glad that he's loving it. I mean,
So then I was like, well, you've got like really good hours that because he wants to get a job to have
yeah.
extra money. So my friend Adina has a photo booth business where they set up like the photo booths at weddings and stuff, and
Yeah.
put all the funky little
Oh,
hats
yeah.
and boas and whatnot. So she was looking for some help, and so he's gonna go help with the setups, and as if he gets more comfortable and outgoing, like having people dress up and
Oh, he'd be good at that, though. He'd be good
I
at
think so.
that.
Yeah, they're so goofy that they
Oh,
would have no
yeah.
problem like throwing hats at people.
Yeah. Yeah. Put this on. Put this on. So,
Sunglasses.
yeah, the big, huge ones. Um, Jackson, I take him to school in the mornings, and
God bless
I have
you. Oof.
do what?
I said, God bless you. Oof.
It's really not that. The first few days were kind of bad, but now that we've kind of figured out our times,
Mhm.
it's not that bad. It actually goes pretty smoothly. Knock on all the things, plastic,
Yeah.
wood, metal, whatever. But I have a friend who's a teacher in elementary school, and she needed help with getting her daughter to school in the morning. So I was like, yeah, I can get her on the days that she's not riding with another friend. No problem. It's,
Yeah.
a mile out of the way. It's not that big of a deal. And she rides with us. And I thought Jackson would just sit there and just chill and look out the window, but he's always like vibing, like singing. I think starting a little bit later for him is working really well too, since they start at 9. So they get there at like 8:45 or 8:50, something like that. So that's so much better for him than getting there at like 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. These boys are just so goofy though. They just have these personalities that are just. So I was telling him that there's another girl that might need some rides sometimes. Now, he was like, bro, you need to pay me for this because I'm having to get up early to go. And I was like, no, shut up, being stupid with him. And I was like, I have an idea. And he was like, what? I said, we're going to have every day a different musical day. So Tuesday is Taylor Day for Taylor Swift. It's Taylor Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I think we said Rod Wave Wednesday because he's like Rod Wave. But Friday is my day. And he's like,
Ooh,
Mama, are you really going to do that? I was like, yes, I'm going to do
ooh.
that.
So what's your day? What's your day?
It's Fun Friday, but I need a better name. But I'm going to play. It'll probably be on
Funky
90s music.
Friday.
Yeah, yeah. It'll probably be on 90s music.
Yeah.
Um,
Dylan gets down with all sorts of 90s music.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's the best that there could be.
Yes.
So Jackson did have to go to school early today because it's so hot here right now. They're having their football practice before school
Oof.
instead of after. Yeah. So he had so much stuff because he packed his bag to shower and stuff here. So clothes to change into, then his regular book bag. And then I have some exciting news. So with Clover Sports, there's a ninth grade, a JV, and a varsity.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson got moved up to play JV.
Awesome.
I know. I'm so proud of him. He's worked, you know how hard he's worked. You've known him since he's been putting all that extra time in. So, yeah, he had to move his stuff from the ninth grade locker room to the high school locker room. So he had his book bag, his clothes changing bag, his helmet, his pads, and then another bag that had all his locker stuff, like his pants and the girdle that they wear and all that stuff. So he was just walking around like a little dude with all his bags. So that's why I'm here early to get him out of school with the regular time since they don't have practice.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for him. So he is nervous, but I think he'll do fine once he, figures out his spot there. So I'm proud of him though.
Oh my gosh. Congrats, Jay. Woohoo.
Yay. Yay.
That's awesome. Well, you had asked me last week what my favorite crime was, or my
most interested about. Yeah.
Okay. And only because when it happened, you only heard the jokes and you only heard like the stupid stuff about it or like the man side of it. But Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah.
Because you did not know the whole backstory of all the abuse and everything that she put up with.
Yeah.
And so when I first listened to True Crime Obsessed, like their episodes about it. And then I watched the documentary. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't know like the whole backstory.
Right. No, you don't.
When I was like, not even, I don't think I was like 12 when it happened or something like that.
Well, and because I really like TCO's take on it because like you said, everybody was all just joking about, oh, she cut his junk off. And you don't hear the why, which I mean, not that anything, well, yeah, some things do validate that, but still like, it was just a big joke at that time.
Yeah. So, because I just thought like the coverage on it was so like, it was like, they made it humorous. It's not funny, but like it was made into a big joke and they didn't tell her side of everything.
Right. Well, and they mentioned this on TCO too, that when she went on Dr. Phil, like he made some kind of a joke about, and I mean, come on, dude, like have a little bit of class.
Yeah.
Just some things aren't meant to be joked around about. And her history of abuse definitely was not.
Yeah.
The documentary you watched, was it the one that TCO did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. What's your favorite crime?
Well, I was looking it up so I can make sure I got his name right. This is one that's also on, I've heard it on Crime Junkie, and I'm pretty sure I heard it on TCO. It's the death of Kendrick Johnson. Mm-hmm. He is a boy that was in Georgia, and they found him rolled up in gym mats with the mat standing up, and they said that he died of natural causes. Yeah. And it's really, in my opinion, not how he died. So I would like to get to the bottom of that and get that one solved for everybody. I know.
With our skills.
I'm telling you, why not? I've got a Google machine. No, but there's just so much. I watched some more documentaries and I can't remember. There were several that were like on Hulu and Prime and all that, but just the different players that were involved in that, some of the kids he went to school with, and the parents that were very influential in law enforcement, like FBI type. And so there's something sneaky going on there that I'm not digging. we had talked too, since we're on this subject, that we were going to give some podcast recommendations.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go first while you since I'm kind of springing it on you. Have you ever listened to Crime Junkie?
I have.
Okay.
That's actually how I started listening to true crime. That was like my first true crime podcast. And I binge listened.
Oh yeah, totally.
To God knows how many episodes. And I don't know. I kind of like, I don't know if I don't want to say I outgrew it, but I just wasn't vibing with it anymore.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it depends on, do you want somebody to sit down and tell you the story like they do, or do you want some banter and discussion about it?
Yeah.
So sometimes, I mean, you want different things, but there's one that Ashley Flowers, who's one of the co-hosts, does called The Deck. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of just like a quicker whodunit kind of thing. And that one's interesting. I was listening to one the other day, though, back from a couple of years ago. And I'm looking up this person's name, too, because I don't want to say it wrong. But I'm listening to it, and it was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was like, oh, okay, this is probably something that I've heard about. And it's Katie Memory Jones is her name. Mm-hmm. Well, she's like, okay, so I interviewed the police detective, and his name was, and I don't know if I should say his name or not, but I was like, I know him. It was the craziest thing. Yeah. And then I heard his voice and I was like, oh, he sounds the same. So it was really cool. It was a really cool thing to know somebody who was trying to help out with some of these things.
During COVID, when we were super bombarded with online orders because everything was closed, I was doing packages for like hours and hours on top of hours a day. And so I would just listen to either TV shows or like podcasts, whatever. And there was a crime like in my neighborhood or in my whatever. It was a TV show. And so the one episode was in Rock Hill in like the 90s or something like that. And I was like, no way. Like when you hear like a town close to you, you're like, what? And then there was another one in Gastonia. And then the one in Gastonia, the person that went missing's last name was Fraley. And Dylan's best friend's last name is Fraley. And I was like, what the heck?
That's crazy. That's like when you're like, oh my gosh, they've got to be related or know something or something.
Yeah, it was so weird. So like I was like you just don't expect to hear like your area.
No. I've actually been watching something on one of the shows where it talks about a crime, and it was in Lake Wiley.
Oh.
And it was a situation where the woman poisoned her husband with Visine over a period of time.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can't remember their names, but anyway, yeah, that was wild to be like, oh,
yeah,
totally.
One of my best friends is a cop in Charlotte, and so the stuff that she tells me that like you don't hear about,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh sweet Jesus,
yeah, it's crazy. So
I don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Well, one I have actually, because like I'm a huge Britney fan.
Speaking of, did you see that her husband they filed for divorce?
Yeah, but is it really her? Because her wedding picture does not look like her.
I know, but I'm just hopefully that's a good sign.
So, do you remember when she was married for like 55 hours in Vegas?
Yes, to her high school friend or something, Jason, somebody. Oh my God, random knowledge, but yes.
Yes. So he went on the podcast Dumb Blonde, and that is Jelly Roll, like the country singer Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah,
it's his wife who does the podcast.
Okay,
and she's an ex-hooker. She's like wide open. I mean, like I absolutely love the podcast. It's like just when you want easy listening, that's what I go. So anyway, she had him on there, and it was like the tell-all of Britney. And
oh my gosh,
everything, the conspiracies are not that she's dead or anything, but he said that she still calls him, and they like control like every single little thing she does. She has to have burner phones to make phone calls.
I mean, looking up that podcast right now.
Dumb Blonde, yes. And they also so the next episode I listened to was Holly Madison.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I like her.
So I really do like that. They swear a lot. They talk about some crass stuff. So if that's not your vibe, that's probably not the podcast for you. But if you're like me and you love swearing and you love all the drama and the details of other people's lives, then this is for you.
Then all aboard, right?
Yeah.
There was a shirt that I saw the other day that I sent it to my friend, and I was like, I need you to make this for me. And it said, something like, I'll love all the drama. I just don't want it to be mine, or something like that.
And that was like the first thing that we said on our first or second podcast.
Yes. Oh, it says,
So
I don't
funny.
want to be involved in the drama. I just want to know 107% of what happened.
Yeah.
Since you've been so crazy, did you get to read our book, our
I
Hidden
did.
Pictures?
I did, and I
Okay.
absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
Totally good. Do you have the blurb pulled up? Cool.
I do. So it was Hidden Pictures. I'm not going to even try the dude's name. Was it Jason something? I don't know. Yeah. All right. Mallory Quinn is fresh out of rehab when she takes a job as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She is to look after their 5-year-old son, Teddy. Mallory immediately loves it. She has her own living space, goes out for nightly runs, and has the stability she craves. And she sincerely bonds with Teddy, a sweet, shy boy who is never without his sketchbook and pencil. His drawings are the usual fare: trees, rabbits, balloons. But one day he draws something different: a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. Then Teddy's artwork becomes increasingly sinister, and his stick figures quickly evolve into lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of any 5-year-old. Mallory begins to wonder if these are glimpses of a long unsolved murder, perhaps relayed to a supernatural force. Knowing just how crazy it all sounds, Mallory nevertheless sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy before it's too late. So trigger warnings: drug use, kidnapping, gender identity. I think that's all the stuff that I've hit on.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was written so good at the twists throughout the whole book. I would love to go back and listen to it again, knowing what I know and see what I missed.
Well, the book did a really, and the author, sorry, Jason R. Let's just call him Jason, because my last name is not one that we want to butcher.
We're on a first name basis with him.
Yes, with Jason. So he does a really good job at leaving a lot of clues. Like in retrospect, you can look back and see like favorite colors and things like that are subtle enough to not give things away, but they're obvious enough that it's out of the norm, so you know to pick up on it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I miss Easter egg type of things.
Yeah.
But I think he did a really good job with that. I also like the way that I felt like all of the loose ends were tied up. Even when they circled back to the ghost Annie, you hear a lot of that story too. So I liked this book as well. I felt like it wasn't messy. Like I said, all the loose ends were tied up, and you got, a lot of, and even though I didn't finish the book with super happy, warm feelings, it still, I had closure.
Yeah. And I almost appreciate that it didn't end with like one big happy family, it's not reality. So I appreciated the tactic that was used to close it out. I love that she followed up with Teddy.
What an ending. Like, didn't see that coming. We talked about how we like unpredictable and all of the things, and you're trying to think on what's so special about this child and why is this child, like, what's going on. And totally blew me out of the water with that.
Yeah, me too. I don't give 10s very easily. I'd give this one a 9.5.
I would agree, though. It's a really good book. This was a really good book. It was an easy read. It was insightful. It kept my second grade brain attention. And I'm going to have to read some more about him, because I really liked his style.
I did too.
I felt like it was just twisted enough, but I didn't feel completely dark in my head.
You didn't have to need a palate cleanser.
No, not like some of these. Not like the one. Let's not even go back down there.
That's going to be Baltimore in books. Like, you don't say the name.
Don't say the name. So I really liked it. I'd give this one a 9.5 as well. No, I mean, I'd give it a 10. I'll give it that. I liked it a lot.
I did too.
It caught my attention from the beginning. I did do the audiobook. So
I did too. And I really liked how the audiobook was done as well. I thought it was done really well. It wasn't an annoying voice that you have to sit through for hours and hours and hours.
It was, everything about this was good for me. So I enjoyed this. I also did read another book called A Mother Would Know by Amber Garza. So if somebody else is looking for another book to read, I was going to add it to our next list, but we're really getting a lot of books on our next list. And I need
Yay.
to add Nichole Eaton's book on our next list. Did yours come
um,
in?
no, it hasn't come yet. Like I go on the site and it just says like there's not. It says it's shipped and it went like first class, but there's no tracking number to track
Okay.
it.
There's probably just so many that got sent. It's just taking a minute for it to
Yeah.
update stuff. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Hidden Pictures by Jason. And our next one is called Jar of Hearts
And
by Jennifer Hillier.
yep. And I actually already listened to it.
Have you? Okay, good. So that means it's available for me on Hoopla or Libby. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Was it good?
I
Never
did.
mind.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
Okay. Yeah, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, like I didn't find it horrible. Like definitely got through it.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Cool. So that leads us up to doing our dumb crime and dumb laws.
Yes, ma'am. Say it. What state did we do?
Minnesota. Minnesota. Okay. So do you want to do dumb crimes first? Dumb criminals?
Yeah, sure. You want to
Okay.
go first?
I'll start us off. This is from St. Paul, Minnesota. 26-year-old Nicholas Wigg checked his profile from a St. Paul home that he broke into, and then he didn't log off. So the homeowner said he was the world's dumbest criminal. Wood had come home to find his house ransacked, credit cards rampsacked, as our friend Joey Taranto would say. Credit cards, cash, watch were all gone. In their place, the thief had left a pair of tennis shoes, jeans, and a belt that were soaking wet because it'd been raining outside. It'd been raining outside. So apparently, I don't know if it never says anything. It never says anything in here on if he took pants or shoes. So I'm just picturing this dude leaving in like a t-shirt and like old tidy white. No, I had tidy whiteys like that didn't fit properly and were like yellow with age.
There was no Calvin Klein models here.
No. So the victim posted on Facebook using the burglar's profile since he had logged into his Facebook saying that he had burglarized him. He shared his phone number, and the dude texted him later that day and he said, "You left some things in my house. How can I get them back to you?" So when he met up with him, the police were there. And
you met up with him?
Yes.
He wanted his clothes so bad.
He wanted his Nikes back. So anyway, he could face up to 10 years in prison and $20 in fines.
Oh my God.
I know, crazy, right?
All right. So another entry into our how not to be a dumb criminal.
Yeah.
Do not log in on other people's computers.
Right.
Don't bring your cell phone. Don't bring any devices. No GPS.
Like, why would you want to do that? You're in the middle of breaking in and you're like, you know what? Let me just check my notifications real fast. I mean, I don't get it.
Maybe he was waiting for a messenger, like his getaway car was there.
Maybe.
He left his phone in the car, and so he did.
But why? I mean, that's the stupidity of all of the things. Like, he obviously didn't think beyond, let me just log in. Okay. Did you have a dumb criminal?
Yes. There's so many in our.
I know. There was a lot in Minnesota.
Oh, yes. I love when you say it. All right. A 37-year-old landlord in Minnesota named Travis Carlson deliberately set his apartment on fire last Thursday. This was like a couple of years ago, while blasting 33-year-old Billy Joel's song, "We Didn't Start the Fire."
No.
Travis drilled holes in his truck's gas tank, put the gas into cans, and then carried them back and forth up to his apartment. His downstairs tenant heard him smashing glass and breaking things for about 20 minutes. Then he knocked on the tenant's door and told them that the house is on fire. When firefighters arrived, they found the apartment on fire with "We Didn't Start the Fire" blaring from the unit.
Oh my gosh.
And then in parentheses, the article says they totally should have responded by playing Alanis Morissette's song "Ironic."
Yeah. Or "You Ought to Know."
Yeah. Travis could face up to 20 years in prison. It's unclear why he did it or if he tried to argue that it was always burning since the world's been turning.
That is so funny. And he put in a lot of work, like drilling the holes in his truck.
Like, why wouldn't you just go fill up the gas cans why are you messing up your truck too?
Yeah, obviously he was a little unbalanced and had some things going on.
Something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's
Uh,
crazy. That's
You ready for our
crazy.
dumb laws?
Yes, I am.
Well, just be glad that you're not in Minnesota because being jobless is illegal.
Job now, by the way.
You do?
Yay! I do.
Oh,
I start.
congratulations.
Thank you. I start the Tuesday after Labor Day.
Awesome.
Just doing all the background check and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm so excited. I forgot. I'm so excited. I
Congratulations.
forgot to tell you. But yes, how can that be illegal? Like it's not necessarily your fault. There's got to be more to that.
I don't know. It didn't go into it. It just said if you're over 18 and you're capable of working and you avoid it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So you cannot cross the state line with the duck on your head.
How about a canary?
What about a swan or a
A
goose?
goose? No, gooses. Those are mean. Geese are mean.
Yeah, they are mean. I've been chased
No.
back before.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if you're old and you like to play bingo, you're not in Minnesota because state law limits nursing homes and senior centers to 2 days of bingo a week.
Bingo every day.
Give them the bingo.
Have you ever played music bingo?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, we went, there's a local restaurant. It's in York. It's called Town Tavern. And on Wednesday nights, they do music bingo, and it's so much fun.
I will have to go.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Oh, we can mic up and go. Okay, so I got another one. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at this list, and I think we're looking at the same list. Do you have like a list of number 1 through whatever? Look at number 6.
I did like 3 or 4 different websites. I figured that we would probably end up on the same one. So I just took some from like all these different places.
Okay, gotcha. Well, another one says, and this is not going to be mine. I just think this is stupid. You can't cross with the chicken on your head. Like, why? Why didn't they just put poultry? Okay. No kid under the age of 12 may talk on the phone without a parent supervisor.
Okay, so you're not allowed to park your elephants on Main Street.
Oh, you have to park on the side streets.
I guess so.
Okay, so last one for me. Eating a hamburger on Sunday is against the law in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Okay, I have 2 more.
Okay.
This one I'm kind of mad at. I didn't put what town it was in, but it said policemen must kill stray cats. And so that one I didn't like at all.
I don't like that one either.
I mean, I'm not a cat person, but like, I don't want them to die.
Oh, but yeah, there's.
Okay. And then people living in even numbered addresses may not water their plants on odd numbered days.
I've actually heard something like that before when like locally, when we have like a drought and a water ordinance or something that did something like that here.
No, I don't ever water anything. Like I'm not like
yeah,
I've got a black thumb. I don't have a green thumb.
I do water, but I follow the rules. We have a well, so the rules don't apply to us.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think on the same trend, we should do Wisconsin next week. Just because I like to say it too.
I hope that there's a lot of cheese laws.
Should we make that the requirement that it has to involve cheese?
Oh, and the crime.
Okay. Either your law or your crime has to involve cheese.
Yes, I like it.
A challenge. We haven't done one of those in a while.
No, we haven't. Well, I hope the book comes today because Lord knows I need some.
Do you need to rock your comeback?
I need guidance.
I know it's frustrating, and like we said, sometimes you get at that point where you just shut down. So
yeah,
little things and cross it off the list, and then move on to another little thing and cross it off.
Yeah. Well, Brandon is going, I think, to that event in California. I'm not going.
Okay.
I need to like decompress, I think, and I don't need anything else on my plate or to get behind on anything else. So he's going to go. If he gets to go to Shamar's house, I'm going to be so mad that I didn't go. But I think for my mental health, this is the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is me being a grown up.
He won't get to go. He won't get to go. Oh my goodness.
Next week we have Jar of Hearts and Wisconsin cheese.
Yes. Okay, you guys, leave a review, please. 5-star review. Please subscribe. It helps our algorithms. Follow us on socials. We appreciate that. And interact with us. Give us some more book recommendations, all that kind of stuff.
Yes. And then we will also in our show notes, because we have those fancy things, we'll put the link to the She Birdie. And we'll link up Nicole's book. So if anybody wants to check that out, they can check that out as well.
Perfect.
and whatever other little like things that we always tell you guys that we love, we'll make sure to
Yep.
get them linked up as well. So thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for dealing with our crazy lives.
This is it. This is what you get.
Hey, I'm just happy that we recorded this week because it could have gone the other way.
It could have. It could have. But we made it. We made it happen.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.